Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today on My Happy Path. Today we'll be speaking with Christine and Lizzy Tomber of Zip Zap Circus USA. They are an amazing organization doing great things in the world for children, primarily in South Africa and Washington, D.C. Their mission is to work with diverse communities of young people in, like I said, South Africa and the USA, and to help kids dare to dream and empowering them to make those dreams a reality. Such a great organization. Thank you so much, Lizzy and Christine, for joining us.
Yeah, thank
Thank you
you.
for having us.
So give us a little bit of background on how you became individually involved with the circus.
Well, I got started when I was younger. My brother was in a circus, a really tiny circus between high school and college, working actually with the Jesuit priest, going around to inner city schools in the U.S. and sharing some circus magic. And I was 7 at the time, and obviously thought he was the coolest thing ever, and wanted to be just like him. So I was already like climbing the walls of my house, and my mom let me sign up for circus lessons with a woman who runs a social circus program in St. Louis. So it's a really diverse, cool experience, and I wanted to share that here.
Awesome.
And I've been moving since I was young. I started by taking acrobatics and fell in love, and then added dance and jazz and tap and ballet, and have been dancing ever since. And then I went to college and also studied dance there. And then I moved to DC last year, and I found out about Zip Zap Circus, and I was wanting to volunteer, and I fell in love with the program and met a lot of the kids involved, and have been going ever since.
So did you have actual circus background before, Christine?
Acrobatics,
But not
but,
circus.
but not, yeah, not all of the circus arts, just acrobatics.
So
You're
you're
really
kind of
lucky.
learning along with them then.
I am, yeah, I'm learning about juggling and
Yeah, we are definitely learning along with the kids. Some of them are
hmm
actually a little faster than us, and some of them we have kids who pick up juggling in 2 minutes, and we're both like, "Huh."
yes.
Awesome. So how did that evolve into working with Zip Zap?
Um, Herbie?
Sure, go ahead.
Um, it evolved because I met Megan Hislop, who was doing a pilot project here in DC, and along with Lizzy, and they told me all about it, and I volunteered. And then Megan actually moved to South Africa to do more social circus work, and I decided to take a bigger role and help run the program here in DC.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Yeah, and I had done circus when I was little, and I always had this dream, but kind of moved on and had like a real life job, quote unquote. And then started doing acro yoga with like every free moment I had, and just loved like feeling like a superhero and all that joy and community, and knew that I wanted to share it. So I actually met Megan right when this year-long program was about to start, and told her I was going
And
to quit my
Megan
job.
is
She was the director of the program here in DC, now
okay,
starting a similar program in South Africa. So
great.
we happened to meet in the park for an acro yoga jam, and within 20 seconds, I told her I'd quit my job and work with her, and she told me not to do that, and I luckily did not listen to her, and jumped right into the program and got to see it through its first pilot year as an after-school, year-round program in conjunction with an organization called Higher Achievement that provides after-school mentoring, homework assistance, and achievement coaching for middle school youth here in DC.
Great. So you guys really encompass all of what a child needs to create the best life for themselves, really. Education, activities, and what circus is providing. Can you give us a little bit more detail on what is the fundamental basis of the personality growth that you're giving these children that you're working with?
Yeah, I like to think of it as leadership development disguised as circus play.
Love
Um,
that.
so we're working a lot on a lot of like personal values of resilience and perseverance, trying new things that are really difficult, and just training yourself to keep working through them. And then the biggest thing I think we work on is that collaborative team effort that even in school and recreation, they don't always get. I realized how much competition is in the lives of kids, and like they're graded, and even during recess, there's still games where someone wins and loses. So it's really cool to see them be able to come to circus and really learn how to collaborate. And I think that's such an important life skill that I really hope they're starting to learn now at this fundamental age where they're kind of building their own personality, and I hope that's something that they'll take with them.
Hmm. And also, we like to use circus as a metaphor for the whole world and life in general, and just what it means to work together and to form communities and share with everybody without having to compete.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's actually one of the other fundamental bases of Zip Zap, correct? That you are allowing the children to have a place to see that their differences really don't have meaning, correct?
Yeah. So Zip
Hmm.
Zap, as an organization, actually started in South Africa at the end of apartheid by two folks who were from South Africa but had been in France for years working with Cirque du Soleil and other amazing international circus organizations. And they came back to see their country kind of in shambles, and really wanted to do something and realized like the greatest thing to do was to share their gift and their passion for circus. So they started bringing trapeze sets around to townships, opening up to anyone who would come, and kids from very diverse backgrounds, white Afrikaans whose parents could pay for them to have private circus lessons, and then kids from the township who needed bus fare to get there, started coming and working together. And through that, like, just spirit of both wanting to play, the differences and the divisions that were built around them started to disappear.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And how are you seeing that in Washington, D.C.?
I think, it's definitely a different context in terms
Mm-hmm.
of there's not the really obvious socioeconomic racial tension that Zip Zap was started in the midst of in South Africa. But I think what we're seeing a lot is that these youth, and they're still actually kids who we work with in DC, are having to deal with really adult things,
Mm-hmm.
um, living in neighborhoods that are really difficult, underserved, um, and just dealing with a lot more than some other kids in this world have to deal with. And they come in often really guarded and, like you said, kind of competitive, like looking out for themselves, taking, a little cautious. It's amazing to see them start to like warm up, most importantly to each other,
So they're
and start.
gaining trust, I guess, huh?
Yeah, it's amazing to watch. Like, especially they're in middle school, so they're like
Mm-hmm.
physically, and
Hmm.
like learning to physically trust and support each other is so amazing to see. And we move
Hmm.
gradually, but it's cool to watch.
Yeah. Also, just watching them through building trust with each other, learn to communicate with each other, and learn to collaborate with each other, and learn to like cheer for each other is really beautiful to watch them unfold. And as they start to get more familiar with the program and less guarded, you start to see them shine, and you start to really see that like the child spark in them coming
Mm-hmm.
out, which is amazing.
That's beautiful,
Yeah,
especially in middle school.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, because
not
like
easy.
right in the middle there.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, that transformation from kind of protected individual to like someone who can share and shine. We actually had one scholar who came to us after being in detention and getting kicked out for fights during recess during football games where he got really competitive and would end up getting really heated. And then he came to circus and we worked with him on peer-to-peer teaching. And then all of a sudden he realized that when he had something that he was good at, he could share it with others and really shine in that way. So he would like help us lead classes, teach us tumbling. He led a whole circus clown act, and just seeing that transformation of this kid who was to a lot of adults a troublemaker, and then putting him in an environment where he could collaborate and seeing him shine and be a leader is a really beautiful example of why circus arts has a power that's like both physical and spiritual and communal.
It's really true then that you are offering these children a means of creating their highest potential. You're giving them the tools now through circus, a fun, playful way to engage their truest, highest self. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. How can we get involved? How can we outside Washington, D.C. get involved, or those that are living in Washington, D.C. and listening?
Well, you can get involved. You can visit our website, and we accept donations on there. And we are also doing a fundraiser in collaboration with Cirque du Soleil, which is happening next week, next Wednesday.
Exciting.
Um, yeah, we're really excited. Yeah. And you can purchase a ticket that a scholar could use to go see the show and be inspired, as
So a
well as
person, I can buy a ticket for a high school student so they can go see this show?
Yeah, one of
yes,
our
That's
scholars.
awesome.
as scholars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if you're in DC, you can come and join us and get to see an amazing show and actually meet some of our participants who will be there too. Yeah. Yeah. And we accept donations of any kind. So any resources, talents people want to share. We are a budding organization. So anyone who wants to help with our website or administration or anything like that, we've been lucky to have, volunteer accountants and things like that who just share what their gifts are and what they're doing already in a way that
Mm-hmm.
makes what we do possible.
Hmm.
So our
Great.
team is
And
always growing.
I'm sorry?
Oh, I said our team is always growing.
Beautiful. So important. And so on a last question, and being that we are My Happy Path, what inspires you guys every day to smile?
What inspires me to smile every day is to go and share what I'm most passionate about, which is movement and teaching um, and circus as well. So just sharing my passions as genuinely as I possibly can.
Yeah, and I think I, for a long time, was working kind of in international development, thinking I was doing, good work, like what the world needed. And then finding out that I could just play all day and do what makes me happy. And if I did it with a humble sense of service, that it would be really enriching and that it would all work out. So I think just doing what you love and what you're passionate about in a spirit of sharing it with others, it's pretty hard to get too upset.
So important to connect with our highest potential, and usually that has to do with helping others in the path. Thank you guys. You guys are so definitely doing that, helping important age groups of people become the best they can be. Really applaud you. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Much love, much light. Thanks again.
Thanks.
Thank you to
Thank
you too.
you. Bye.
Again, everyone, please check out Zip Zap Circus USA.